Hello everyone, Xerophobes here. So today we're going to be looking at Team of the Season Kroos. So this card came out about a week ago and I apologise for putting up the late review, lads. Just the exams were around that time, so couldn't really put up a review of him. But just looking at his expectations, his pace is always going to be slow. Even on his normal card, his pace is very slow. So we do expect Kroos to be a little bit slow in the midfield. But overall his stats seem insane, bar that. He seems really clinical, seems like a maestro. His passing and his dribbling are ridiculously high. Good defending as well, surprisingly good defending at 85 and good physical as well at 80, so I'm really looking forward to this card. And the weird thing is, I can't really think of any alternatives for this card because there's not that blend of someone who's, you know, kind of slow and just really good in the ball and good shooting wise. There's very few players out there. Like, you could think of maybe like Pirlo, but obviously not in terms of our case, or maybe Pjanic, but again, like, it's very hard to give you a cheaper alternative to this card. Okay, so just looking at his stats, let's just get the obvious points out of the way. He's not going to be fast. That's obvious from his sprint speed. So in terms of everything else, though, he seems insane. Like his passing, his shooting, his dribbling, his defending, again, surprisingly good because you don't really expect him to be that good defensively, and physical is actually quite surprising as well. I was expecting it to be a lot lower. His strength is 84, which is ridiculous, and his aggression is 68, so I was interested to see how that would blend in terms of the gameplay. So just in terms of what card I put on him, I just wanted to put on a hunter card to try and increase that pace because it's literally the only stat I was really worried about, and just increase the shooting as well. The physical I wasn't really worried about because I was going to play him a cam and he was going to be a 98 cam. Like, it's just ridiculous. The one thing I also want to point out, lads, before we get into the review is have a look at his composure, because that is a big stat that's going to come in when I do this review. Okay, lads, so just getting into clips. I love him. I absolutely adore this card. He's a massive player for me now in my team. When he gets chances, he will take them. His movement, his shooting, and his passing are ridiculous. Like, there's so many times where I'm just thinking, I need to go, I need to do something. Give the ball to Kroos and just lash it at goal. He will score 9 times out of 10. His shooting is absolutely excellent. And the thing I mentioned before with the composure stat, you can feel that composure. Because when he gets into that box, okay, even on certain finishes, he just finesses them in with ease. Like, in terms of some strikers, they're just like side-footed in. He just, like, he does it so coolly and just with such ease at times. He makes it look so easy. His defending is actually quite surprising as well. I was expecting this defending to be a little bit all over the place, but it's actually quite good. Surprisingly good. The two cons, though, pace. We already mentioned pace. That's going to be the obvious one. The other one was, I play a 4-2-3-1. Sometimes there was a little bit of a gap between him when I play him a cam and at my two centre defensive mids. There was a little bit of a gap in terms of defensive counter-attacks, which was a little bit annoying, but his positives outweigh that. So just getting into a rating, lads, I'm going to give him a 9.9. The only reason why he is not getting a 10 is literally because I know people rely heavily on pace, and in terms of everything else, he is perfect. Honestly, this chap is perfect. He's so good on the ball and he will get you goals. He's just insane. But if pace is a big thing, I wouldn't, like, how would I describe it? His pace is really, it's average. It's not going to be, you know, Bakayoko, or it's not going to be, you know, those cheap cards that win the ball to fuck. It's not going to be those sort of cards. So if pace is a massive thing for your team, I wouldn't recommend them. If you play him at Cam on a 4-2-3-1, though, 100% recommend him. He's absolutely insane. Is he worth it? Yes, in my opinion, he is worth it. Now, again, I'll come back to this. If you're playing a 4-2-3-1, yes. If you're playing a 4-1-2-1-2, I played him in a 4-1-2-1-2, and he was still good for me. But I know a lot of you guys play a lot differently than me. I play possession, and I know a lot of you play fast build-up play. So in terms of that style of play, I wouldn't be too keen on him, maybe. But, like, I haven't really tried him out as that style of play. In terms of my style of play, in terms of possession, 100%. He's an absolute tank. He can score goals to fuck from anywhere. Is he full chance ready? Yeah, like 100%. For me, he was a tank. He scored more goals than he played games. That's how good this lad was for me at Cam. But again, it comes down to what preference you want, lads. If you want him in a 4-2-3-1, 100% get him. If you want him in a 4-1-2-1-2, he's still good, but I just feel that a lot of people now are going to, you know, start going for those bigger players like those Hullets and Vieiras and those sort of player, and you want someone fast and defensive and also very good on the ball, and he's everything bar the pace. So it's completely up to you. In terms of my rating though, lads, in terms of playing him at Cam in a 4-2-3-1, And I also played him on 4-1-2-2, and he was pretty decent for me, but I know people have their different styles of play. He was a tank. So please bear that in mind before you go get him. Okay, lads, so that's the end of this review. I will have Matic and Walker out next. Just one thing about Walker is it's probably going to be hard to get him clips, so I may do a comparison review to other right backs, because trying to get a clip for right backs is a real pain in the arse. But anyway, I'll talk to you then.